Everybody says Vancouver weather is so unpredictable. One moment it's raining, and the next the sun comes out as if nothing happened. But honestly, is it really just Vancouver? I think London has the exact same reputation. Since it was one of those cozy mornings, I decided to stay in and make a simple breakfast. I have collected so many cookbooks over the years, recipe books, baking books, all kind of beautiful books. But if I'm being honest, I hardly ever cook from them. Most of the time they just sit on my shelf looking pretty. So today I challenge myself to actually open one. As I flipped through the pages, a classic French omelette caught my eye. And I thought, why not? I paired it with toasted sourdough, creamy avocado on top, and of course a comforting cup of milk tea. After breakfast, I headed to Richmond to return a few clothes I had bought recently. One thing I can never resist though is a bookstore. Whenever I see one, I have to go inside, even if it's just for a few minutes. I was actually hoping to find one of my favorite books, but unfortunately, they didn't have it. After that, I drove to one of my favorite cafes in Richmond for a cozy brunch. Since it was such a cold and cloudy day, I was really craving something warm and comforting. I ordered an egg benedict sandwich and a bowl of creamy butternut squash soup with lots of French fry. It was such a lovely, relaxing meal. Sometimes slowing down and treating yourself to a quiet brunch is exactly what you need. And today I think I truly deserved that little treat. One little surprise today was that my youngest son decided to come home. My boys never really give me much notice. They don't say, Mom, I'll come in a few days. Instead, I'll suddenly get a message saying, Mom, I'll be there at 6, or I'm coming at 9, and that is just how life is with them. I had planned my Sunday a little differently, but of course, plans can change. I needed to drive to the ferry terminal to pick him up. I actually love the ferry ride. The views are always so peaceful and beautiful. Unfortunately, I couldn't film it this time because I was driving by myself. So you will just have to imagine the ocean, the mountain, and the fresh breeze. After bringing him home, I realized I still hadn't gone for my walk. As soon as I stepped outside, I noticed something that made me smile. The roses in my garden were blooming beautifully, and so were the rows of Sharon flowers. I think they were thanking me because I finally remembered to give them some fertilizer last week, which honestly I don't do very often. My walk turned out to be exactly what I needed. I wasn't rushing anywhere or trying to accomplish anything. I was simply walking, breathing, and enjoying the beauty around me. By the end of the day, I had walked over 12,000 steps. Some people measure productivity by how much they had done, but for me today felt productive because I slowed down, spent time with my son, appreciated the flowers in my garden, and gave myself the chance to simply enjoy nature. Sometimes that is more than enough. my family, I made Achari chicken. Achari is a delicious Pakistani spice blend that I picked up from an Indian grocery store. My sons are very easy to cook for. They are happy as long as there is chicken on the table. On a cold, rainy day, the tangy and slightly spicy flavor felt especially comforting. They enjoyed it with warm butter naan, while I had my Swiss chard with shrimp. I harvested few vegetables from my little garden. Swiss chard, kale, some tomatoes and lots of pepper. There is something so satisfying about cooking with ingredients you have grown yourself, even if it's just a small harvest. So for dinner I wanted to make something simple. In Bangladesh we usually cook different kind of spinach, but Swiss chard wasn't something I grew up eating. Over the years though, I have really come to love it. Today I made my own version of a Bengali-style Swiss chard stir fry. I added plenty of chopped garlic, little chili oil and a Chinese-inspired twist. Some dried red chili. It turned out incredibly flavorful and I absolutely loved it. As the evening went on, the rain became heavier and heavier. There was thunder too, and it reminded me so much of the rainy season back in Bangladesh. The sound filled the whole house. My two cats were not impressed at all. They got scared and hid under my bed until the storm passed. And that was my Sunday. It wasn't an extraordinary day, but it was filled with little moments that made me happy. Good food, time with my son, a peaceful walk, fresh vegetables from my garden, and the comforting sound of rain. Thank you so much for spending the day with me. I hope this little vlog brought a bit of peace to your day. I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.